Hey y'all, it's day 5. It's day 6. It's day 6 of Learn How to Sew in 2 weeks. Today we're going to talk about fabric a little and seams. Hey y'all, so first I'm going to give you a little tidbit about fabric. I feel like I need a whole day for fabric. I didn't really think that through. But I just wanted to show you the right side and wrong side of fabric. This here is some scrap fabric. This is the right side. This is the wrong side. So we're going to get into like a sewing project during week 2, but I just wanted you to understand that as we get into it. Some things are going to ask you to put right sides. Right side together is pretty standard. Put the right sides together and sew. So I just wanted to be clear that you guys understood that because I hadn't talked about it before. Okay, outside of the fabric tidbit, I did want to give you guys some tips on seam finishing, so pinking, serging, and using bias tape. For a professional looking garment, it's important to have all your seams finished on the inside of your garment so your seams do not fray. The least expensive way to finish your seams would be to use your pinking shears. You just take your seams, see my stitch line, and you just trim so that the seams are pinked, and that way they do not fray. The second least expensive way to finish your seam would be bias tape. You can make your own bias tape for relatively cheap if you have fabric to spare, or you can buy them at your local fabric store, craft store. It looks like this. This is a double folded bias tape, and basically what you're going to do is your seam is already stitched. You're going to press it open so that your seam allowances are tucked to the back, and you're going to take your bias tape. You're going to sandwich it around the edge of the seam allowance, and then you're going to stitch down. So here's my seam. My seam allowance has been finished with bias tape on both sides. It's a nice way to clean your garment and give it a good professional look. The way to finish your seams that I'm going to mention today is to use a serger. It requires you to have another sewing machine, which is the serger, to finish your seams. I'll show you what that looks like. So to finish your seams with the serger, you're just going to line the edge of your fabric up here. There's a knife here that will clean this edge, and then the 2 needles will do the stitches. And that's it. Day 7, we're going to wrap up some final details, go over some final construction methods. For week 2, we are going to make a tote bag together, and we're going to walk through that step by step, day by day together. So stay tuned.